Hello guys, welcome once more to another video in our YouTube channel. So this is the fourth video as concerns Nahpi 2023 math solution. So we are with question 4. The question reads: the sum from r equals 1 to infinity of 3 on r plus r times r plus 1 is equal to, we have a, b, c and d. So let's dive straight away into the solution. Okay, so objective is to get an infinite sum. All right, so we need to get the sum from r equal to 1 right up till infinity of, we have 1 it is 3 divided by r into r plus 1. So we clearly see that if we are summing to infinity, we always have to first of all start by identifying the type of sequence that we are summing. If it is a GP, things become easy because we know the formula to sum to infinity of a GP. But in this case, it is not a GP, right? Because it is not geometric, it is not exponential, right? So in this type of case, what you do is that you try to look for a method that will help you to find the sum to infinity. Now, what we are going to do is that we are going to find a way to get the partial sum, that is the sum from r equal to 1 to n. Then we now take the limit as n is going to infinity of that partial sum. It is going to give us the sum to infinity. So this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that the sum to infinity of a sequence is equal to the limit. So it is equivalent to the limit as a certain n, for example, tends to that infinity of the partial sum, and the partial sum is a sum from r equal to 1 right up till that n. All right, so r equal to 1 right up till that n. So if I'm able to get this answer in terms of n, and I take the limit as n goes to infinity of the answer, it gives me the required response. Okay, so let's focus on getting the partial sum. Now, to get a partial sum, we are going to use a very important trick in partial fractions, because this can be identified as a telescopic sequence. Now, this in partial fractions, you are going to have a over r plus b over r plus 1, which is equivalent, the LCM is r times r plus 1. We have a into a into r plus 1 plus b into r. Now, since they have the same denominator, that is, this and the original have the same denominator, we just have to equate their numerators. So equating their numerators, we are going to have 3 is equal to a into r plus 1 plus b into r. Now, all we need to do is maybe kind of set x out to be something, but anyways, no matter what you do, I'm just going to expand. So I'm going to have AR plus BR plus A. I've already grouped the R terms together, where AR plus BR can be written as A plus B, all of that times R. Now this 3 here can be written as 0R plus 3. So from here we can easily equate terms, and we are going to have that the constant term on the left hand side is 3, on the right hand side is A. Now the term in r on the left hand side is 0, on the right hand side is a plus b, which just means that your a will be equal to negative b. Alright, or we can say your b will be equal to negative a, which will be negative 3, since a is 3. So from there we can clearly see that what we have here, okay, what we have here is equivalent to your a is 3 over r, your b is negative 3 over r plus 1. So if you factorize 3, you're going to have 1 on r minus 1 on r plus 1. Now we are progressing. What next do we have to do? We now have to sum. Okay, so the sum from r equal to 1 to n of this r term is equivalent to the sum from r equal to 1 right up till n of its identity, now of everything here. Alright, so I'm just going to replace everything there. Since 3 is a constant, we can pull it out of the sum, multiplying every term in the sum. That is it. Now let us sum and see what is going to be happening. So I'm going to put my 3 outside. Okay, Now when r is equal to 1, we are going to have 1 over 1 minus 1 over 2 plus when r is 2, we have 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3 plus when r is 3, we have 1 over 3 minus 1 over 4. Now I'm going to forget about this r equal to 5 and I'm going to go to the ending. Now if r is equal to maybe n minus 1 before arriving n, if r is n minus 1, we are going to have 1 over n minus 1 minus 1 over n minus 1 plus 1, which is 1 over n. Okay, and finally when r is equal to n, we have 1 over n minus 1 over n plus 1. That is what we have. So when I say it is telescopic, it is because of the fact that we have that negative half. Okay, a negative term in the previous term cancels its positive term in the next term. So negative half plus half is 0. Negative 1/3 plus 1/3 is 0. If I replace r to be equal to 4, I'm going to have here 1/4 minus 1/5. So this negative 1/4 will cancel with the next 1/4. Let's leave that for now. Now if I replace r to be equal to maybe n minus 2 first, that is to have the term before this r equal to n minus 1. If I replace r to be n minus 2, you realize that there will be a negative sign on 1 over n minus 1, because if you replace r here with n minus 2, you're going to have n minus 2 plus 1, which is n minus 1, but the negative sign is there, which will now add up with this guy to give us 0. Now you see that negative 1 over n here cancels with positive 1 over n. So the only two terms that will be left will be the first, which is 1 here, and the last, which is negative 1 over n plus 1. Those two terms will never fall off. So my answer to the partial sum is 3 into 1 minus 1 over n plus 1. That is my final answer to the partial sum. But I am more focused on getting the sum to infinity. Alright, so my sum to infinity, like we said, is a limit as n goes to plus infinity of the partial sum. So the limit as n goes to plus infinity of this partial sum is just equal to this limit, the limit of what we have here. Alright, so the limit of everything. Now 3 again is not depending on n, so we can factor it out of the limit. Now what we are going to have is 3 into the limit of 1 is 1 minus the limit of 1 over n plus 1 is equal to 0 as n goes to infinity. So the final answer is going to give us 3. So this answer here is definitely equal to 3. Now let's go and check if we have the option among the answers. So clearly option A says 3/4, option B says 9 on 2, option C says 9/4, and option D says 3 on 2. So this particular question has no option. So there is no option to this question 4. The correct answer is this sum is equal to 3. Alright, so there is no answer. So like I said, the answer here is 3. So option A is wrong, option B is wrong, option C is wrong, and option D is also wrong. So stay tuned and see you guys in the next video.